What up, what up? We got the second diary entry in for Raeinn and extra N. We are farming. We are hitting the pit hard, and it's going decent. Like, we're getting some runes, we're getting some items. Really, I haven't seen too much. I made my first trade online, which was kind of fun. I got an extra gold wrap, and I traded for like 5 perfect gems. Just didn't really need it. Felt like a waste just holding on to it. So I'm just like, let's just turn this into something, right? It was more just to kind of help someone out and just get compensated really for the time to trade it. And also kind of build my trade profile because I do know that people do the whole trust thing. And so maybe when I get some higher items, I'll want a little bit of that. Cool. Our favorite game, how bad is the rare ring, man? What the heck? I don't know if it was just lagging there or what. It's being weird. So anyways, we are doing pit runs. I have found out something interesting that I'm sure is really obvious and dumb in hindsight. But the whole where finding the pit is pretty easy because it just follows the dirt road. One of the dirt roads goes to the cold plains, or maybe it was the Tamoy Highlands. No, this is the Tamoy Highlands. So it would go to the Black Marsh. And one of them goes to the pit, so I've kind of created a lot of efficiency there. Can't remember if I mentioned in my last video, but I do have Cure on my follower now. He also has Insight. He's also a defensive aura one. If for whatever reason he doesn't have the aura active, thanks for nothing, buddy. That gets my defense now into like really respectable places when it's up. Like right now we're at 3,200. Jeez. It'd be nice if you'd throw that up so we could stop taking some arrow damage. But anyways, as you can see also, I am starting to actually use Conviction because I figure that's something I should get better at, and then I'm flicking on Redemption for the heal when I need it. And then that way also too, like, I have more damage, I have better clear, but I'm also making use of potions again. The problem with using flat redemption is obviously now I don't have another aura that's really important, my 20 points of conviction. And then I'm not making use of potions now. Some people are gonna say that that's a really good thing, right? That you don't, oh, I don't need to use potions. But the fact of the matter is you are giving up power that you have and abilities that you have when you do that. So like, for example, let's say I had like a ton of life regen, and I never need to use a potion again, right? And it took a bunch of items to get there. Well, the problem is you're probably overstated then because you have access to potions and it's relatively free. And so you should be using them to some degree. So it's just kind of like a little interesting way to think about things, I think, especially for any character in build, right? If you're so overstated, then you know what's the point of having that in the first place? I don't really need that champion axe, but I'm happy about that white berserker axe. I think I can take that. I've kind of modified my run so I do like a save exit when I'm done. Then I do the sail. As you can see, our clear speed is really, really fast compared to when we were playing our other classes. Look how bad is the rare ring. Really bad. 100 poison damage over 5 seconds. That's one of the better offensive charms I've seen, actually. We'll hold on to that. I've kind of reorganized my stash where like I have bases, I have gear that's wearable, weapons that are usable. There's some weapons in here too. And then these two are kind of my dumping grounds. I made a mule for sets, a mule for uniques, a mule for jewelry, and a mule for charms. So that kind of helps that out a lot. Again, I am level 84. Obviously, nothing has really changed on my build. The plan is to kind of hit the pit hard now for this last level to 85, and then we're going to start looking at what we can do with maybe farming Andariel. I would be really happy about getting like another piece or two of gear that is... Oh, that's scary. Another piece or two of gear that's like decent and like an upgrade. Although I did technically find a new piece just recently. It's not awesome. I'll show you once I get into the pit here. It is the Griswold's Valor. It had the natural like 30% magic resist and 2 more slots, and I put in some perfect topazes for 78% magic find. It has the all res, which is just a pinch of find, and it has really high defense. So I just think that's a pretty good spot because I do like the increase to defense a lot, and the all-res is kind of just like, okay, obviously I have my 25 all-res circlet or 26 all-res circlet. That's like better in that regard, but since I am doing so much farming and not really pushing too difficult of content, I'm prioritizing the magic resist. And even though I'm farming the pit, which is usually farmed for like bases, it's actually not the primary reason I'm here, and I'm still finding a lot of bases because obviously they're white items, so we're gonna find some of those. I'm a little disappointed. I have wanted to kind of find a couple pieces for my mercenary, namely a better base for insight, like an F base, but haven't gotten anything usable in that regard. But I have found a ton of generic, just like 4 sockets. I found a 6-socket phase blade, a 5-socket phase blade. So we're definitely getting items. I found a white monarch. Just nothing super vital yet. Gotta hang out next to him when I need to get that Kier going. See, that really cuts down on curse time. Yeah, so Fist of the Heavens combined with Charge is really, really strong. And when I need HP, I just go Redemption. And then if I'm, you know, taking damage, I'll definitely pop a Super Healing Potion. Yeah, the only thing that's super threatening right now are like when there's like a double archer pack, especially if they are like minions or a rare. Like, for example, this Might Aura guy that must be up ahead. Not an archer pack, but if I had that next to like another pack that was enhanced, you know, maybe they have a curse. It's definitely when things could start to look a little bit scarier. But otherwise, again, I think our damage on paper looks low, but with how many holy bolts we're making, it's kind of perfect for what we need in here. And so when I think about the cathedral farm coming up, that is Andariel, I believe it's going to be mostly demons. The only thing I can think of offhand are like, I know there are spiders, but I can probably just kill them with Conviction and Fist of the Heavens and my Merc, or just ignore them. So I think I will be in a good spot. I love getting to the second floor. It's so satisfying to watch the whole room just kind of get blown up. Oh, that's why I'm immune lightning. And the fact that we can just be so indiscriminate with this as well is like contributes to its power. or speaks to its power a little bit as well. Saw there was a flawless ruby or war sword. We'll pick that up. That must be Colwyn's point. I like that sword a lot. So yeah, this is kind of where we're at. Things are going really good for me. We're getting gems, we're getting runes on occasion. See, it gave me an item discovered for that, but it's really weird because, like, I have discovered that on non-ladder, and there's, like, it shows me items from, like, a week ago in my chronicle that I found, but maybe because I ID'd them, you know, at a certain point, I guess I just don't know how that is panning out, so that'll be nice for a reroll. Oh yeah, I do have some more thoughts that I'll elaborate on. So this build is obviously really good at killing undead and demons, and I think it's a home run really from a gameplay perspective and like a build perspective of like you can craft these builds to be good at certain things. Even like if you're a fire-based character, like you want to be in the Stony Tomb and you want to be in like it's like the Glacial Tunnel or Glacial Pass in Act 5, something like that. I think that's really cool and interesting, and it makes really some gameplay diversity, right? Because if you make a new character, you might be interested in a different kind of farm for a different reason. I mean, probably when it comes down to it, it's maybe a little bit of illusion of choice. But there's part of me that it's not necessarily true, because at least like the gameplay and like the enemies you're encountering are different. So like you do interact with the game in a different way at the very least. And so I think that's just a really big win that Diablo has over here. My mind about itemization is kind of opening up too. It's no secret how good like the rune words are compared to like everything else, but also fact of the matter is that like there aren't rune words for belt, gloves, boots, and the ones for the helmet slot are pretty meager. I mean, some of them are fine, don't get me wrong. And it really does give a lot more longevity to like looking for good pieces, because it is so hard to find a good piece of gear. You know, even just like a dual res magic find move speed boots or something, and or something with life and a resistance, and you know, same thing with charms too. Like slowly upgrading your charms is really satisfying. You can have charms that are like serviceable and, you know, make your character strong enough, right? But you're constantly able to optimize your character. There's never a point where you're like, you know, this is a marginal upgrade. And I don't necessarily even mean it in the fact that like when you look at a game like PoE, that's true too, right? You can get a better roll on a piece of gear or whatever. I think it just feels different because of the scaling. You know, going from 35 to 40 life it's minuscule, right? But it's not like in some other games where your damage is scaling again into like millions. And it's just like, well, who cares if I'm 178 million versus 179 million? It just becomes pretty abstract pretty quick. I guess is kind of where I'm going with that. Okay. So I think that's been fun. yeah, again, I'm really enjoying. This is my third hardcore character to make it to Hell, and I think this will be the first one that I take a little bit further. So I actually didn't. I thought this was a different item. So I'm pretty excited to see where it goes, what we're able to accomplish. You know, maybe I'll just die. I don't know. Um, like something I'm trying to get better at too is I've been using that trading website, and so I'm trying to get like a better grip on like how much are things worth. Probably don't need that. And I think it's just kind of making me better as a player overall. Yeah, and same thing too with like with my respec as well. So I went from like only playing the Holy Fire Paladin. I did do a hammers like way back in the day, like a really long time ago. I never made it really even, I think, much past into Nightmare, so you know, I didn't really see a lot of gameplay there. But it's fun, like using, okay, you know, how much different that this Fist of the Heavens plays from you know, the Holy Fire or my Echoing Strike Warlock, or I thought that was Giant Charm for a second. And I'm sure how different it will end up playing from Hammerden when I respec once I get relatively geared. And that's all within the same class. And you know, how would you say this? So when you look at a game like Diablo 3, I've played a lot of Diablo 3, so don't get me wrong. I do enjoy it for what it's worth now. I understand some of the grievances with it, and one of my personal grievances with it too is like there probably is technically like more build diversity in the sense that like you have your 30 skills and you pick 5 or whatever, right? And you have all your little runes that you attach to them. You do get more like total diversity in terms of like, okay, there's maybe 6 builds because there's 6 sets that you can end up wearing, right? But you don't have necessarily the customization depth, right? Like I determine everything about the character, how many points I dedicate towards a certain skill, and you can easily say, well, you just max a couple of points, right? But there is a lot more nuance, and especially once you start looking at like party play, you know, are you scaling elementals together? Are you providing like a function to like support like minion builds? And even the gear pieces, with some of the gear pieces being so changing, right? You know, you could go like the Hand of Justice and like the Dragon Shield build and completely reach a new gear or new build just through means of gear. And that's true too on the other games. But what isn't necessarily true is like, okay, on Diablo 2, if I build one of those Giga sets and I get my damage to scale to the mills, you're like really locked in. I can't go like halfsies on anything. And so it's like kind of, you know, that game of like you drop a ball when you're playing like Plinko, I think the game is called, and the ball drops and falls into one of the slots. You just fall into a slot, whereas here, like, I gotta do everything about it. And yeah, I'm using Fist of the Heavens and 20 points in like some really obvious things, but there's just something about it that's kind of feeling different that I'm really enjoying. Path of Exile does it really well, actually, to be honest. I had a lot of fun with PoE2, like experimenting with some really weird combinations with the Gemling Legionnaire. That might be a bit more specific to that ascendancy. But I think it kind of goes. It should be mentioned. So yeah, as you can see, we're plowing through this pretty fast. It won't be too much longer, but we'll end the clip and rambling here and pick up when we go kill Andariel. Okay, here we are. We are starting the barracks. Let's see if we can go kill Andariel now, huh? Got to level 85 and a half. Kind of just thought I'd call it there. A little change of scenery. What the fuck? There we go. As suspected, a lot of demons. Turns out Diablo kill a lot of undead and demons, so don't mind that. This looks like a Malice room. Oh Jesus, he's fast. That's scary. Oh. I think that's full set for me. I might have with that weapon. That's kind of nice.
This will help the sisters turn the tide against evil.
Okay, it's a good start. Oh, like what? Oh, I just dropped one of those.
Impossible.
Yeah, razor time. Little pro map reading, I knew it was there. Oh, scimitar now too, jeez. Hexfire? Oh, Blood Crescent. For level 7, that's pretty sweet.
I can't.
Definitely be using that. If I'm not using like Berserker Axe or something. Yeah, I definitely like that I took some time to grind because it just gets me really comfortable with the play style here. I don't know if you noticed, but I kind of do like an attack move, like I'm playing like a MOBA. Because this, you like it's like you can in theory cast really fast, but the actual animation that seems to kind of lock you up. So it seems pretty beneficial to dodge arrows and etc. to do that, but I could be wrong, especially once we get faster casts and all that. Heard something weird drop, but must have been filtered out. Oh, deep line? Yep, deep line. This is kind of fun. It's new content for the for me and the channel. Again, I've never seen the hell bosses, so curious to see how this will go. Definitely over leveled, but you know, a Boy Scout's always prepared. Pretty curious what Act 2 zones will end up being like beneficial. Like, will the sewers be good to farm? Probably not, because it's not a level 85 zone, but I'll have to do some digging onto that. Not the luckiest I've been. What? Oh, this tile. This one's kind of cool, actually. Cool feels like full of monsters or archers. Just be nasty. Yeah, this is like all demons and undead still. Which does kind of make me rethink like the holy fire leveling. Like, you could probably rock a holy bolt and then just melee whatever's left over. And I bet that's probably one of the fastest. Because it's really those razor fiends, spike quills, whatever, and like the beastmen that you'd have to worry about. Inner cloister. We're just gonna take the time and do the natural played as intended. 64 attack rating, 15 life. It's not the worst. It's not like a ton of attack rating, but if you need the life, you need the life. Hey there, Charcy. We're gonna save that for like a, I think it's a diadem is what you want to do it on. Yeah, I think that would be full set. Maybe I'm missing the robe.
Not in town.
But that would be pretty cool. Oh, I missed jail level 1. That's right, I ain't never going back there. I love the cathedral. Kinda wish she was like just packed full of monsters. Reminds me of Scarlet Monastery. Bone Ash, there he is, always there. Ooh, rare Amy? Let's go. Druid skills? Yeah. You'd probably get a better blue one.
There is great evil here.
Oh, great. Are those... Okay. I was thinking for a second that was going to be the Stygian dolls, but no, I think it's just like the fetish type guys. They're not called that here. Oh, I've been running Redemption. I'm griefing. Like, these seem to be killing a little bit slower. It's funny. Battle Gaunts. Look at that. How much magic fine are we at? 150? Paying off. Take a quick look right away. Lava Gout. That is fire resist that I need. I don't do striking though, and attack speed doesn't do nothing, so I'll just keep wearing the magic and gold fine gloves. Close, really close. I'm gonna try and find the waypoint in here. Sweet. Yikes. Do a little map read, I'm guessing this way. Oh, easy. I don't like how much damage those do. Need a pack to leech. Whatever, I'll just drink a healing. Alright, here we go. Andy room. This will be fun. Yeah, really curious about where damage is looking. These runs probably aren't too bad, except for, again, I don't think they're level 85, so it's basically all on the Andy kill. Okay, just kind of take a note of EXP as well. Kind of curious what that ends up being. Alright, let's do it. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Oh, free tank. Nice. Twisted Essence of Suffering. Don't know what that does. M find. Sure, I'll keep that. So that is the run. We're looking really good. We could probably advance quite a bit. I think I want to farm Andy a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, cool. I'll end this video here.